Well, we are back. I haven't a clue what just happened. Uh, it just out of the blue, my Xbox just decided you're not logged in anymore. And then when it came back and it's like, oh yeah, you need to do your age verification. I'm like, I've done it twice already. You know. Anyway, let's get back. We're trying very rush the rest of the championships. At the top of Combined Extreme and Pro, we've got Centra Finley on top by 32 points. That can't be right. Never mind, the wording's not changed back. At the top of Pro, Finley. At the top of Amateur, 50 Michael JFF joins first place on 87 points. In the Extreme class, Jack Daniels on top of that one by 40 points from Frosty. Needs to be very quick with all this because my Xbox has been a bit of a pain. And in Pro-Am, Law Coleman is ahead of the Sloth by 28 points. And very quickly now, because the drives are coming to the end of the formation lap, seems to be a medium start for the majority of the field. Terry and Easy Life trying the hards. Swanson, Smugget and Shawnee are trying the soft start. So now we wait for the rest of the field to come around Ari Luijendijk. There's a few drivers missing their grid spots there. You can see them getting reset. And here we go. I hate when the game does this, but we can just about see the lights through the time tower there. And they're away for the Dutch Grand Prix. 72 laps await us. And Senna gets away very well. Shawnee flying into turn 1. It looks like he made contact with someone. So far, everyone surviving the first couple corners. And up through the undulating straight, the kind of curved straight there. Senna is making a bit of a statement here. He's had a few unfortunate rounds recently, and he needs to make a statement if he wants to close the 60+ point gap at the top of the championship. And you can see there the statement is already being made. He's nearly, by the end of the first lap, he's nearly put a second ahead of Jack Daniels. There's a yellow flag. There's a bit of a pile up at the chicane there. Swanson's been involved. Maybe Shawnee P as well. Yep, Shawnee is missing the entire front wing as the track goes under yellow flag for VSC. And we can see there Shawnee's just crawling back to the pit lane after receiving that damage. Needs to be careful because of the way the pit lane is shaped here. It has that little kind of curve to try and slow you down and not. I wonder, did Swanson pick up any damage and all that? Doesn't look like he has, but he just unfortunately got tangled up as the race is back under green flag. And it kind of worked into Jack Daniels' favour as he's kind of cut the gap only by a small amount, and they seem to have, the pair of them seem to have timed this restart perfect because Dan Morris is now 2.2 behind Jack Daniels. I noticed where they were when the race went back to green. I wonder, was Dan Morris kind of stuck in the middle of that banked kind of fourth corner? The get ready for this. The Hugenholzbocht. Anyway, back onto the start and finish straight now. Jack Daniels with DRS. It's quite a long one, so he might have a bit of a look into Tarzan here. And yes, he will. Championship leader back into first, but Senna gets the switch back as they come out of Tarzan. And this was the corner I was on about just then. No. The traction is very critical on the exit there. I wonder, was Senna and Jack Daniels already straightened up? Is Jack Daniels having a bit of a sneak? He had a bit of a peek up the inside as they were going into Shavak. I don't know how you say that. Anyway, we're going to ignore that one. As he followed onto the second DRS straight on this circuit. Not really long enough to make an opportunity unless there's not really long enough to make a pass unless you are roughly on the diffuser coming off the corner before. There's a bit of a twitch for Senna. Will affect his drive coming onto the straight here. Jack Daniels tucked right in for the slipstream. He's going to look around the outside this time. Is the move going to work? Oh, he's trying it. They're still side by side as they come off the corner. Jack Daniels seems to have a nose ahead. Senna. Oh, Senna's gone round! Oh, no! I think it was just a... That was very unfortunate. And again, it's the last thing Senna's going to need this season if he wants to be contending for a back-to-back championship. But, oh, that was damn. Just seemed like 2 into 1 didn't work. And maybe one or both were refusing to yield to each other. Someone's gone wide through the advertising board. It looks like it was Al Newt. It seems Senna's struggling for traction off of some of these corners. At least that's a little observation I've noticed. You'll notice here as you come round Kumo. Maybe not as bad this time. We'll come back to the front for a moment. Actually, we'll take a look at Finley here. Trying to put some pressure onto Terry here. Terry replacing Frosty this evening in the kicks over. And Finley getting a very, very good exit there. Unfortunately, the nature of that straight doesn't really give you an opportunity to overtake. Now Cape and I on the progress of Senna. He's currently 8th place. Unfortunately, he's stuck in the train. Everyone's going to have DRS around him until they start spreading out. So, oh. I won't say it was a small mistake, but it's going to have massive consequences for this race. As Finley now looks like he's got the nose ahead on Terry there. Terry's still trying to keep some pressure on the Mercedes ahead. Senna through into 7th now. And we will... was a bit wide for Terry there. Got Simon up his inside. Manages to get ahead and recover before the corner there. You can just see Senna on the bottom there. He's tried. Oh, he just wasn't close enough. He's about, as Martin Brundle will say, he was a day late and a dollar short. He was just didn't get himself alongside enough of time. Feel like they've lost too much time because of it, but that's not ideal, and I can understand when there's massive, you know, when there's consequences for this championship here. You know, with, like I said, we're at the halfway point after tonight. To be 60 or more points behind, it's a long road to recovery, and unless Jex Daniels misses a couple rounds or starts having a bad run of form, it's just not well, I wouldn't say it's not impossible. I wouldn't say impossible, but it's going to be a very, very difficult. Because we could be talking, let me have a look here. We could be talking at least an 80-point gap in the championship. You know, or even could see Finley up to. Could see someone like Finley move up to second, you know? This is what I mean by the championship. This is what they say when championships are marathons, not sprints. And ironically, we're in a bit of a marathon there tonight with 72 laps on the board. We've completed 8 already. Oh no, we completed 7. This is the 8th. I do apologise. But what's this? What does it mean by content preferences, huh? Oh, where's that go? So we might have a bit of a swear here and there, but I don't think Twitch should, like, I don't know. Anyway, we're going off on one there. See someone, is it Dan Morris attacking Mr. Mr. Piccolo attacking Dan? I do apologize. I just saw 2 cars side by side, looking for his first and second, but there we go. Mr. Pickle off to second now, and that, I think they extended it a couple of years. Oh, there's a bit of wheel banging there as they're coming through the little twisted straight there. Was that just a bit of... Oh, and Dan Morris has run wide there at turn 9. Is it turn 9? I don't bloody know. On the map it's called Bocht 9, and I'm like, what does that mean? Yes, it is. Anyway, I do this every week. I drive myself around the twist with it. Anyway. Yeah, I think it was a couple of years back. What was the yellow flag? It looks like Smug Git has gone off. He's coming into the pits. Is that for damage or just to get off soft tyres? Keep an eye on that. He's onto the hard tyres, we can see there. Now we can see Senna's managed to recover up to 6th at the moment. It's probably, again, a harder recovery because the field's not really spreading, and it probably won't spread until the first pit stops. No, we're talking about the marathon, not a sprint thing, you know, with maybe from this point onwards, yeah, you can treat the championship like a sprint. There'll be 6 rounds left. But you can only really... If you're still at the top, you know, someone like Senna or Jack Daniels, you still need to not do anything too risky until maybe 60-70% of the part of the championship. Anyway, we are not far away from 60 laps to go. And notice the gap to Jack Daniels is shrinking a little bit. Smugget and Shawnee having a bit of a battle in turn 1 there. We could move back just to take a look what's going on. More to progress of the new driver. We'll take a look at fastest laps there. Smugget currently got the fastest at 13.4. There's a yellow flag, sector 3. King Kong is out. Has gone into the wall at Ari Lundijk, it looks like. And we're under full safety car. Some drivers taking their opportunity to pit. Obviously some drivers weren't really afforded that luxury because of the track where they were on track. But this might come into Senna's advantage here because if we think now, okay, the field wasn't really that spread out, but he's closer to everyone now. He will find ways past people if he is quick enough, which he should be more than quick enough. Not like a diss, not dissing anyone in the field here tonight. But obviously, some drivers have strengths and weaknesses at certain tracks. And we can see Jack Daniels, he's electing to pit here. Terry on the hards choosing to stay out. Probably the best call in the short term if you've got a hard tyre on right now. Maybe a little bit risky, because you will have to stop later and put yourself at the rear of the field. However, I will notice nobody who starts on the hards is still on the hards. If Terry's been managing these hards well, it could be a absolute masterclass, but he's going to have a whole field of fresh tyres behind him. We shall see what happens next. A few drivers choosing the softs. Not too sure in that decision, but I'm not the one behind the car tonight. We'll take a little look at chat. Let's take a little look into Discord as well. Any chat between the drivers. Doesn't look like. So let's. Looks like we're waiting on Shawnee to catch up to the safety car. So, is it worth me taking a look ahead? You know what, we'll do that. No, we'll do it now, just in case we don't get another safety car. So we'll just look ahead to the season. The next 3 rounds from tonight, we have Austria reverse. We have the 100% round of Austin or the Circuit of the Americas. Then we've got 50% Monaco. And if that tempts a certain commentator back to this league, I think it will. Even if it's not the 100% we had last time round, and he ended up dominating. Oh, the safety car having a bit of a moment there. Looked like he caught the grass. Like, I know it's an AI, but whoa, that was a bit scary. It looked like the AI was nearly having a crash there, but oh well. If it gives us a bit of a laugh, why not? I'll call it like that. Let me just make sure. Does the link I posted into Twitch? Yes. Okay, it still works. That's great. Not the link I posted into Twitch, the link I posted into the Discord, the league Discord. As you see, the safety car has now been called into the pits. Terry's going to control this field for the final sector here. Obviously, a little bit restricted here because of how long this final corner is. It looks like Terry's gone. Trying to catch a few drivers off guard. Mr. Pickle looking to attack on Jax Daniels there. And through he goes. Finley dropping like a stone. A few drivers have lost positions on this restart there. No idea what happened. And as you can see, Senna and Coleman side by side. Coleman gets through. Senna gets a 10-second speeding... not a speeding penalty, I do apologise. 10-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Now, I didn't see a yellow flag there when we restarted, but that's an interesting call from the game. I think it's Simon got hit with the same thing too. That's the wrong thing. Yes, DRS Simon also getting hit with the 10-second. Oh, Senna trying to look at the. He seems to have got through on Dan Morris. Has there been a bit of a miscommunication between the drivers? Were some drivers allowed to go and some drivers not? Was a few people caught napping, and that's where the only thing I can assume, when Finley dropped a load of spots, did Senna and Simon get through thinking the speed difference would be allowed to let them pass before the checkered line? I don't know, we might have to hear from Senna a bit later on. There's now Senna back into the top 5 for the first time since the incident early on. I can just see there Coleman and Simon going between passing. Did Coleman stay out? No, there's a yellow flag. Looks like Dan Morris is going slowly there through turn 10. Well, look to the front there. Jax Daniels getting back into second place there, but look at the gap Mr. Pickle has. Senna back with the fastest lap of 13.1. I'm really curious what happened to cause those yellow flag penalties, and whether Senna will attempt to appeal it in the stewards' room. Speaking of the stewards, I haven't got you guys up to date with last week's stewards report. There's an instant Terry's Reds involvement with Senna. I think there was the lap 1-1 when Senna dropped a few places. There ended up being no further action. Finley got a 5-second penalty in Spain for minor contact, but cut off Kessler. Basically just causing a collision. And Frosty also got a causing collision report. No further action on that one. That incident also involved Simon Sloth. So there's the penalty report from Spain. I would have talked about that if the stream didn't randomly die about minutes before the start. Anyway, Senna now going up behind Terry's Reds here. I've got to remember Terry Reds has got much older tyres here. We're talking 3 times the age of Senna's. But look who's just ahead of us here. Is that a blue and pink Alpine? It seems like we're letting Mr. Pickle go away and burn up the soft tyre, but this will be interesting, eh? Following balls with Senna here down the start finish straight. Not really gaining much because of Terry also having DRS. Takes the later apex. Jax Downs has a bit of a slide there on the exit. Ooh. And we can see Senna is now 3 on Terry's Reds for 3rd place. And now, it seems, it's back to the 2 championship contenders. No idea why we're getting a speck of dirt into the camera when we're on the helicam, but that's F1 25 logic, I guess. So now let's see, what can Senna do with Jax Daniels? He's set a new fastest lap of 13.0. I think Senna's chasing a bit more than the fastest lap right now. Taking a bit of a tighter second phase of the bank corner there. Now this is a battle we've seen many times in the past. Not often we see it for second, but I feel we're going to see these two go at it for a couple of laps. Obviously, it might become the lead soon when Mr. Pickle eventually pits off the soft tyres. To be fair, I thought it was an interesting strategy to go for with the softs, but it seems to be working. Here we go. Off of Harry Lundijk there. Senna's got the DRS. He's going to look to the outside of Jax Daniels. Oh, and they make contact against Senna! Oh, he manages to recover, but these two come into blows once again in that first couple of corners. I've got a feeling Senna may not be as friendly next time he tries to get through Jax Daniels. I'm not saying he's gonna do anything, but that's twice now he's tried to attack Jax Daniels, and he's made there's been contact made because of it. I'm not saying there's gonna be revenge attempts, but I don't think Senna's gonna be. I don't know. I don't think we've ever seen Senna as that kind of driver. I mean, when he gets past, he's gonna be like, "Yeah, don't try that again." And now we have 50 laps to go. Jax Daniels looking to the inside. Senna to the outside once again. Senna trying to cut back this time. Doesn't have his nose. And let's have a look into turn 2 and 3 there. So he's going to have to wait at least another, basically to the opposite side of this straight. Now, interestingly, the gap to the lead has gone down in all of this. There's been all this fighting, and still Jax Daniels has pulled a second into Mr. Pickle's lead. And there's more time being taken out as well. So here we go, there's another attempt. Ooh, it was a very late defense from Jax Daniels there. Senna's still got the inside line. Jax Daniels getting a much better exit through Tarzan. There's probably been a few questionable. I think Senna's probably thinking now, what does it take to get? Oh, he's a bit of a slide off the banked corner there. Little banked 180 corner on the inside of the circuit. He's probably thinking, what do I have to do to get past this Alpine? I've tried the outside, I've tried the inside. I've tried keeping it side by side on the exit of a corner. Now he's going to be stuck in a little DRS group once again. He's going to have a little look. No. Nothing can be done there to the little chicane. There's a bit of a twitch on the exit for Senna. And again, both are going to have DRS. It's Pickle swerves to the inside, almost like a fake pit out. Oh, Senna going in very hot. Luckily, there's enough kind of tarmac on the outside of that corner to recover on. Senna going in very hot there. He was almost off to Amsterdam. I don't even know which direction Amsterdam's in, but anyway, he's through on the Ferrari of Pickle, who will probably expect to pit in a moment. So now we're going to see these two fight for the lead now. Let me I'll try and do it whilst there's a bit of a. I'm gonna have to be very, very quick with this. Was I? Did I get anything like that right? Is my geography of the circuit? Oh, I went far off, I guess. There we go, we're going to watch Senna, one more attempt into turn 1. Jax Daniels takes the inside. Senna again, a very good run through the first turn there, but a little bit wide on the exit. I'm going to follow with him through this little banked 180 here. He's probably thinking, what does he need to do? They're both on equal tyres almost in terms of tyre life. You can see Terry's coming to the pits, dropped all the way to 14th. Now, I just need to keep an eye on something away from the race here. Okay. That's probably the biggest we've seen the gap between these two for a good couple of laps post restart. Now what's happened to Terry here? Because I'm looking at this track map. Where they were in the field, they should not be in 15th. So now takes us to the purple first sector. And Jack Daniels seems to be struggling a little bit. You can see a few twitches. Oh, he's taking a couple bites at the turn 10 there. Senna using all the exit curb. Not close for an overtake into the little chicane. Complex here. He's put himself in a very good position to try and take the lead. Gonna have DRS there. Using it all the way around Ari Line Dyke curve, whatever it's called. Gonna move to the external view. Oh, they're bumping and banging again. Jack Daniels keeps ahead. Now, it's not really my place to say, but there's probably been a few questionable defences from Jack Daniels there. I don't know if that was just Senna not really committing to it, or if it was a bit of a late defence. We'll take a look at Twitch chat. These bloody bots, man. If you wonder what's on about this, one of these viewer, oh, you can get viewers here thing. I'm like, no, get out my chat. Right, I'm surprised Mr. Pickle's not pitted here. There's 15 laps on them soft tyres. I know I'm used to the 50% stint laps as Terry takes the fastest lap. 15 laps on soft tyres is crazy. As Senna, oh, it's a bit of a... Oh, that was very aggressive from the harsh driver. They're still side by side off of Tarzan. Oh, that was... He might not be racing with us tonight, but that was a very, very frosty overtake. Simon into the pits. Look, I think I saw he got a speeding penalty off it as well. So we'll be serving one 10-second penalty just to get another. But that was a very frosty overtake from Senna there. Now you gotta remember, we just mentioned Simon with his 10-second penalty. Senna will need to serve his on his next pit stop. Oh, I sense a bit of tension in that little battle at turn 1 there. Is it a bit of frustration that, you know, all these attempts of not getting through, or was it a bit of a lesson to the Alpine driver? Whatever it is, we won't know, and we may find it out later. move back a little bit into the field to check on everyone else. We don't really, I don't want to make this the Senna and Jax Daniels show. Swanson's up to 5th place, which is looking like a very good run. Trying to see who's gained the most places. Lord Coleman's gained the most places, +8. You can look on the mini map. I'm gonna have to move back to this. I know I said we don't want it to become that, but look at this between these two. Their front and rear wings are almost glued to each other. It's like an invisible rope keeping each other together. Now let's take a look. What's happening into turn 1 here? Jax Daniels going to look to the outside. Still side by side. Oh. Senna just keeping his nose ahead. Mr. Pickle finally getting off the soft tyres onto some hards. And now the roles are almost reversed. Jax Daniels is wondering what does he have to do to get back through. Can I just go on to stream real quick? Oh. What's this? So yellow flag sector 1, it seems like it might be Shawnee. At least he was the last driver I could see within that area. Jax Daniels up the inside, he's gone a little bit deep. Senna back through. Bit of a little, well, I wouldn't say a nudge, but almost like a hip check just to say, yep, you're not getting it easy, mate. And as we now have 4 viewers in on Twitch here, at least it says that. Let me delete that message. I'm sure Solid Marsh could be a legitimate person, but I'm not having any bot messages in the chat. Anyway, I don't even know what round we are on in terms of battling between these two. Very good race now, I'll tell you. There's been a few controversial moments, but it's been decent racing. No one's taken damage or... But we can see the difference in the level between these two, you know. We are looking at 8.2 second gap back to Alan Newton 3rd. And there we go again. I've lost count how many times we've seen this attempt into turn 1. Jax Daniels looks in a better place. Oh, I don't know if he lost traction or if it was just a Senna putting his car in the right place. Seemed a bit hesitant to try and keep the side by side going, whether that was intentional or not, I don't know. I've just noticing as well, could we see some back markers getting involved there? Because we are on lap 34. We're about two laps away from the halfway point of the race. And we can just see going through, halfway through the sector we've just entered is Terry's Reds. No idea what's happened to them. No, we saw them go a bit longer on the hards, but it seems like it's not really worked out since then. And here we, oh, I don't even know this time what's going to happen to these two. Jack Daniels around the outside, he's trying everything. There's the whole saying, you know, he's giving it everything under kitchen sink or whatever it is. I can't remember off the top of my head. He's put the whole fucking kitchen drainage into it as well. I apologise for that. That was you know. Like, I'm talking about the old metaphor of the kitchen, you know, everything but the kitchen sink, and it's like, at this rate, these boys are going to be putting everything but the entire gaff in the, you know, the whole house is going to, they'll chuck everything out of the house except the house. And Jack Daniels, he's got his nose ahead now. Oh, he's drifts his way through turn 1. Senna not having the issue, that sort of traction issue, so he manages to retain the place. And again, it's just frustration, I think, for these guys more than anything now will be. I've poked my nose in it every corner, every lap, and I've had nothing for it. Easy Life now gets a 10-second speeding penalty. This is crazy racing. Let's just say that. But I generally, you know, let's take a little look down the field a bit. Let's look at Swanson and Lord Coleman here. Again, we don't, as great as their racing has been, we need to give some of these guys a bit of attention. Oh, Coleman tried to stick his nose into turn 3 there. Someone's pushing the Aston through the banking there. Oh, I'm not sure what happened at the top of the hill, but we are now past the halfway point as well. I didn't even notice we've done that. We'll take a little look down there. Smug get up to 7th here. Finley recovering well, back up to 6th. Oh god. I can't believe I've nearly missed that. Now, it's going to be interesting there. Where at at the rate these guys are going, they're going to have a decent like pit delta. No, if they pitted now, they would come out probably just ahead of Swanton. Oh, Jack Daniels goes a little bit deep into the chicane. Still gonna have DRS, but it's gonna be a long shot from move into turn 1. And we're probably gonna expect another pit stop. Anytime, I say in the next 10 laps we're going to see some more pit stops, I think. They'll probably get these tyres to their 30th. Oh, it's Jack Daniels taking a different approach. Has a little look at... I've got rid of the track map now. I don't even know what to say. Which corner that was? Yeah. What have I done? This is your very, very professional commentator here. Not knowing what. Anyway, back onto the start finish straight. It's getting close again. Getting closer and closer. Flying past around the outside goes Jack Daniels. He keeps his nose ahead and he is through. Oh, the bumping and barging as they come up to turns 2 and 3. Senna having that crucial inside line there. There you go, I got my trap map back. Go. Oh, this is probably I think I say it almost every week. This has probably been the most entertaining race I've seen between these two in my very short commentary career. So now, I believe at the end of this lap we'll have 32 laps to go. Still a long way to go here at Circuit Zandvoort. And Jack Daniels looking to have another attempt. Not close enough this time. Oh my. We'll move back a little because we're going to see. Take a look at this battle with Swanson and Lowell Coleman. You can see the McLarens are going at it in the background. Dan Morris and Mr. Pickle 2. Sloth through on Smug Git. Pair of them running the chrome version of the livery. You see Dan Morris trying using the banking around the outside and he's ahead of Smug Git. Maybe? Yes, he will. As it kind of sorts itself out into Shelvak. Shavlak, I don't know. I don't know what it means. I'm just saying this. Anyway, we come back to the leading battle now. Jack Daniels and Senna have... Jack Daniels takes another look to the outside. They're still... Oh, the wheel to wheel is... Oh, a little bit tight, but it's... Nobody gets hurt. There's no damage, there's no dirty driving. Just two guys absolutely going at it for laps and laps and laps. So It must be like the 20th time I've talked about these two going side by side into turn 1. It probably gets a bit tiring to you guys, but yeah, it's when the racing is this good, it's like you can't not acknowledge it. Bentley now from Swanton in turn 9, it looks like. Gonna keep the eyes on this battle here. My voice is probably on the way out. But here we go, into turn 1. Jack Daniels, he's loving that outside attempt. He's got his nose ahead, and it's well ahead. Jack Daniels back to the lead of the race. So now it's Senna's turn to chase. Swanson into the pits. And I thought I came well prepared for this race, you know. Glad enough, like... Ooh, there's a bit of a touch for Senna there in the background. So yeah, we're probably looking at a few drivers who have pitted there. I don't think we're far away from these two stopping. No, we're going to say there's 30 laps to go from here. If they got another set of hards, they could do it. Mediums, they'd have to really nurse home from here, so I could probably see another 5 laps before, maybe. Dan Morris now pitting as well. Onto mediums. So he could just go completely against my thinking, which to be fair, it could be wrong. Now I have to wonder, how much do these two have left in their tyres? The constant fighting surely must have taken a lot out of them. Senna goes up the inside, not got good enough of a run. That's probably the very unique nature of Tarzan on the first corner there, that you can pass inside, you can pass outside. Both lines are extremely good for overtaking. Let me just do that real quick, because you lot are probably enjoying, well, you either enjoy or you don't like listening to my voice while you race. You know, if you're listening on Twitch, like I know a few drivers do that. But I don't think you want to hear me going through the lobby. Here we go again. Let's see, Sean, he's coming to the pits. Senna was pushing Jack Daniels out the first corner there. So yeah, I wonder if we're going to see some stops in a moment for the leaders here. Newton's come in from 3rd. Oh, excuse me. Put Mr. Pickle hit back on the podium. Let me think. Dan Morris now with the fastest lap at 12.510. I was just trying to think, how far can Pickle go on these hards now? 20 laps would take them to about lap 65. We'll see. Senna looks... Oh, he tried the inside. Made the pair of them go a bit deep. There's a yellow flag. It looks like Michael's had a moment coming off of turn 10. Move back to the front here for a moment. I can feel my voice is... Maybe I should pack 2 drinks while I'm doing the 200 oh, I'm gone. I was going to say I maybe should bring up 2 drinks when we do these 100% races, because they can go on. You know, we're talking what... As Jack Daniels comes into the pits now, Senna stays out. Oh, Jack Daniels gets a speeding penalty. But gotta remember, Senna's going to lose 10 seconds at the next stop because of the yellow flag infringement earlier. Pickle also pits again. Sloth now in as well. Al needs staying out and back up into 3rd. Dan Morris and Finley setting back-to-back personal back-to-back fastest laps. I'm probably going to need to lie down once we've finished. It feels like my tongue is disconnected from my brain now. What am I talking about? My mouth? What the
See what I mean? My head's gone.
Just give me a safety car or something, just so I can never break. Senna now into the lead. I've done it again. Senna into the pits from the lead. English is not that difficult. And as you can see, he's there waiting the 10 seconds. Now, I'm going to keep an eye on the gap. How far ahead is Jack Daniels? Once Senna serves this penalty, we'll watch this midfield battle as Senna exits. The gap's going to be... Oh, he's behind Al Newt, interestingly. 14.3 seconds. If we factor in Jack Daniels' penalty, Senna's lost 4 seconds. Or over 4 seconds, I should say. And Jack Daniels goes in with the new fastest lap of the race, the 11.411. The yellow flag. Oh, Jax Downs has had a moment. I think he was trying to. I think he was trying to lap Shawnee, or. And I saw the yellow flag, and I thought, that's not the Alpine. That's not an Alpine dot in that sector. I'm like, no, this can't be. So interestingly, hasn't lost too much time. Maybe about 2 seconds, if that. So it's going to be a very, what, 22 laps including this one. It's going to be a very interesting final few laps, final 20 or so laps. Let's take a little look through the field. So I'm back up to 8th now as well. Now, I don't know what happened there, but could it have been an issue that was caused by being distracted by the back marker? I don't know. That is something for Jax Daniels to tell us after the race. There's another yellow sector 1. Is that Michael again? Yes, it was. I've noticed in the laps following that short mistake, that brief mistake for Jax Daniels, the gap staying fairly consistent, so it makes me think Senna and Jax Daniels are matching each other on pace. Maybe Jax Daniels having an edge in certain parts of the track. You'll see there's what's happened. There's a slow. What has happened to Syme? He's going slowly off of the Aaron Lydike corner. And see Smugget gets through. What has happened? Does he pause to try and we'll have a little swing through the field to see what's going on with everyone. I'm quite impressed with what's happened with Finley here. I'm not sure what happened on that safety car restart when he lost a load of places, but he's doing well to put himself in contention for a top 5 once again. And here comes, as soon as I say that, Mr. Pickle's going to have a little attack into turn 1. Finley just holds on though. We're taking a look at Swanson and Dan Morris as well. These two are having a good battle as well. And there we go, side by side, Swanton going around the outside. Little wheel bumping between each other as they go through. Little 180 bank corner. They're still bumping wheels with each other. That is, to do it at them speeds is wolf. I mean, to bump, you know, to like just touch wheels with each other, it's scary enough at any speed, but to do it on a straight like that when you're going side by side, side to side, I think you get up to about 160, 170 maybe, if that, maybe a bit more. Anyway, we're gonna have... I've lost track of the laps we've got left. We're not far off 15 to go, I think. Maybe at the end of the next one. When I say the end of the next one for Jax Daniels, who is... He's put a second on Senna since the last time I checked the gap, which... Right, I'm a bit... So I'm into the pits again. I think it's just been all downhill for Syme since the incident on the restart with the yellow flags, but now Senna's made a mistake here, because I looked again, I just taken a drink for a second. He was 13.5 behind, he is now 18.2 behind Jax Daniels. What has happened? No, you probably saw it, but I just didn't, you know, notice. But what has happened there? So now we're going to see Al Newt have a bit of an attack on Senna here. That might be... I'm going to have to go through stream later and see what happened to Senna. Because there's no way he's lost 5 seconds. Just... I can't click my fingers, but... I don't know if it came through on camera, but... On the mic. Even. I'm going to I'm going to have to try and get 6.5 back in for the next 100% round, because I talk shit well, I talk a lot of rubbish anyway, but you know, the last thing I need is my brain and my mouth to become disconnected like it does usually. You see Swanson and Dan Morris side by side. Dan Morris is through. As we come into the final stages of this race. Now I can imagine how demanding this race is going to be on these drivers. You know, but I was just saying how my brain's almost disconnected from my mouth because of how long I've been talking. Just imagine what it's like for these drivers. You know that it's not really a track where you get a break on. You know, it's corner after corner after corner after corner. You know, your only real resting opportunity is to start finish straight, and you're lucky even if you get a chance to relax, because stuff like that happens. You know, like we seen there with Dan Morris and Swanson. Oh, there's a nearly contact between them, but they are safely through. Oh, and Finley, massive dive as he comes into turn 4 there. And why do we have to go to the onboard camera there? Because I was trying to see what happened between Pickle and Finley. It seems like Pickle got the better in that situation. But here comes Pickle up the inside of turn 9. Oh, Dan Morris is going to have the line for 10. And they've allowed Swanson to get a bit of a gap going. Like he's not far off. And well, I say he had a bit of a gap. Dan Morris is through. There's a bit of a tap of wheels as he finishes the move. Mr. Pickle also taking some scraps away from Swanson there. Swanson going to hold the inside, but Pickle has the better line. But I noticed that Coleman is not too far away from this group. If they keep fighting and swapping positions like they have been, what can Coleman salvage out of it? He's alive now into the pits as well. And we can see some weaving there to try and break some slipstream. Michael also into the pits. Oh, he's just come out even, should I say. And Finley's going to stick his nose in. Not got enough of a run from the looks of things. Oh gosh. And Jax Daniels. Ooh, interesting. Jax Daniels pits from the lead. With 10 laps to go, Senna will be coming round Ari Luyndyk corner now. Unless their mediums can't make it, that is a very unusual decision for the championship leader. I suppose he's in a position where he can afford to make the move onto the softs. But I'm confused as to why he would do it. unless the tyres won't last. Which I don't know if that's a good argument, because the hards are making 30 laps. Mediums you'd expect maybe a little bit less, towards 20 to 25. I suppose if anyone's going to gain the time back on soft tyres, it could be Jack Daniels. Yeah, I think we're going to get. I'm going to say prepare yourself when he's able to set a new PB. Expect a 110 or something, because that'll be stupid. How good that lap time will be with them tyres. Dan Morris also into the pit from that battle for fourth group. So maybe the mediums aren't going as long as I was kind of expecting. Which, if that's the case, we're probably going to see Senna come in, and Al Newt will take the lead. Or is Senna going to brave the last 8 laps or so? All I'm going to say is, keep watching, because this is going to get tasty, baby. I mean, already Jack Daniels has put 2 seconds in on Newt, so let's actually watch the Alpine driver as he comes off Ari line, but on that corner. And, oh, 1:11.2 from Jack Daniels there. It's still a new fastest lap, but I was expecting a 10.9 or something. This will be interesting now to see. And that, never mind, we are going to get a 1:10 10, but from the Sloth, which is ironic given his game attack. Oh. Senna's staying out again. However, Jack Daniels is hunting down El Newt. I'm going to say, keep your eyes peeled, ladies and gentlemen, on these last few laps here, because who knows what's going to happen next here. And we'll take a look here, because Jack Daniels, he's through on Newt to come back to second place. He's got 6 seconds to make up in about as many laps. And I can only see Jack Daniels has put in a second just within about half a lap. Oh, this is... too tough to call. You can see Easy Life getting out of the way of his teammate. I wonder, is Jack Stones going to use Easy Life for some DRS down the front straight here? This is incredible. I think he's got gained a second and a half since. It's just whether those soft tyres are going to have enough life by him. Is he going to have enough life within them tyres to make the pass and stick it by lap 72? I mean, already the gap down to 3, we'll call it 3.5. Never mind, could even be down to below 3 seconds by the end of the lap. This is incredible driving from Jack Daniels. I think it's too early to say anything about this season's championship, but he's definitely in a good position for it, regardless of what happens in the final 4 laps here. It's like 5. No. I don't know. My brain's lost all function at this point. Let's keep an eye. So yeah, 4 laps to go. Or 4 including this one, I guess. The gap is 2 seconds. And to Jack Daniels, that Haas rear wing is getting bigger and bigger to his almost every corner. That Haas will be getting marginally bigger. I mean, it's 1.5 seconds now. He's going to have 3 laps to go to make this pass stick. I think by the time he crosses the line next time, he's going to have 2 laps, ideally with DRS. I'm going to say strap yourselves in for possibly one of the most intense final 2 laps you will see in this league this year, or this season. Then again, that could get beaten next week, you know, the way these guys have gone. Look at the gap. Only a few laps ago, this gap was 6 seconds or more. It is now within DRS range, with 2.5 laps to go. I was initially confused by the decision to move on to soft tyres. It seems like the decision is paying off. He has DRS on Senna this time as they come towards Tarzan. Jack Daniels is through and absolutely clear as he exits the corner. I don't think there was much Senna can do here. It's soft tyre versus a medium he came onto over 20 laps ago. I don't think there's much more. And look, purple sector already. I think next week I'm going to have to start commentating with a thesaurus on my phone and not a track map, because I think I've run out of words. not only to describe the season, but to describe these drivers. We'll take a quick look through the rest of the table there. Alney's holding on to the last podium position in third. Terry's Red's just coming back into the pit. You could just see that on the right hand side there. So yellow flag sector 2. Michael's gone round again. But we will keep our eyes on the leaders here. There's been drama, there's been strategy masterclasses, and just about everything else possible in this race. That's what we love about the 100% format here in DRS. They may be long races, but they are not. They do not lack in entertainment. Around that final Arie Luijendijk corner for one final time. Jax Daniels wins the Dutch Grand Prix from Senna by 1.1 seconds. And keep an eye here. Al Newt will finish the podium in third place. Now we wait for the others now. Lord Coleman up to fourth. He's made up 10 places in this race, the most of anybody. There comes Pickle, Dan Morris and Finley. It's like, oh, an incident for Smug Git going into the final corner. Crashing out at the Arie Luijendijk corner. I'm not sure what happened there. Was it too much gas on worn tyres? Or throttle, should I say. Was he just running over the curb and just not able to recover it? I don't know. Very, very strange incident there right at the end. As Slime comes up to this final corner now. It's not been a good well, it's not been the best race for him. But he will come home 10th after all the penalties. And we can just see Michael just behind him. Yeah, you can see the drivers taking in the podium celebrations. We'll just cut them short just very quickly to give you the result rundown. Jax Daniels comes home with another win, his 5th of the season. Senna 2nd, Al Newt 3rd, Lord Coleman 4th, Mr. Pickle 5th. Dan Morris, Finley, Swanson, Sloth and Syme, the rest of the top 10. Smug Git comes home 11th despite an incident on the final corner. And the rest of the drivers who finished a lap down: Terry's Reds, Easy Life, Shawnee P, Michael JFF and King Kong, who retired early on to cause the safety car. Or trigger it. I'll say trigger because it wouldn't say it was. I don't like you saying the word cause the safety car when trying to describe someone's race. So after a bit of a slow start because of the delays in qualifying, I no longer have a voice, or barely, I should say. Yeah. I'm just gonna get straight off, get something to drink, because that was crazy. Thank you all for watching. I'm I don't think I have the brain capacity to give a proper conclusion to that. That was an amazing race. Controversial in parts, but, you know, very good. Everyone, well, I say everyone. There were some crazy battles, but everyone managed to survive them.